Hello everybody, I'm Pilar Archilla with Pure Gold, and I have a very nice special guest with me today, Mr. Jerry Hall. How are you?
Fine, Pilar. How are you doing?
I'm doing great now that I'm sitting here with you.
Well, good to see you again.
Yes, we go way back.
Right.
I mean, we have done a lot of things and served in different things together, and here we are, sitting here in TV 35,
Right.
which today I learned that you used to do something like this before.
I have anchored the professional forum years ago.
Isn't that wonderful?
It was great. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
That was probably around the time I moved to Dublin, I
Uh,
imagine.
A little before. I think it's a couple early 90s. Yes.
Yeah, I got here like in 96.
Right,
So
right,
probably,
right.
isn't that great?
So
Well,
be careful. I may take your job.
yeah, he might. Oh my goodness. And I'm sure you'll be great.
No, it's your job, not mine.
Jerry, are you from Lawrence County?
I was born here in Coleman's Hospital.
Uh-huh.
Now, you probably don't know where Coleman's Hospital.
I have heard of it.
Right. But a lot of people do. And just as a little advice down the road, you may want to do a program on local hospitals.
That would be great.
At one time, there were 3 or 4 independent hospitals here in Dublin.
Oh,
But I was born at Coleman's Hospital, which is up near the federal building,
okay.
to the right of the federal building.
Oh,
I was born there, and I was educated in the Dublin City Schools.
there you go.
But where do you think I started the first grade?
My goodness.
I started the first grade where the Dublin City Hall is now.
Oh,
That was the Dublin City Schools.
oh goodness.
And I started the first grade there, and then we moved over to Central, which is basically the, I think, Community and Schools
Right,
old
right
building
now,
location
yes.
now. So I went through there, and I actually graduated from East Lawrence because we moved to East Dublin. And at that time, they were real strict about you had to go to
Right.
where you lived.
Exactly.
So I probably am unusual in that I get invitations to the graduating class from East Lawrence
Yeah.
and the graduating class from Dublin.
Yes. that
So
is
I
good.
do have a lot of friends here. And went through the school system here, worked about a year to try to decide what I really wanted to do.
Yes.
Uncle Sam had me a job,
Oh yes.
and it's called the draft.
Oh, Jerry.
And I had no number. My number was, you're going to Vietnam,
Oh my goodness.
straight. Well, went through basic training and Fort Benning, then Missouri, and then I went to Vietnam for 14 months.
You know, when you told me, I'm gonna tell you things that you did not know. I'm really shocked. I did not know that.
Yes, I was, it was something else.
I remember I was a very little girl. I was in school in Colombia,
Yes,
and I remember they brought all of us, everybody in the school, in the patio, and our principal said, we need to have a big the blessing today
Right.
because Vietnam War is over.
yes,
I'll
yes.
never
Yeah.
forget that day. And I was a very little girl, but I was thinking, gosh, Vietnam War. I mean, to me that sounded like just so far away. So never crossed my mind talking with someone that actually went to Vietnam.
Well, it was an unusual experience, very, very unusual. And the war was basically, and we didn't come to talk about the Vietnam
Right,
War, but it was a political war,
Right,
meaning a lot of companies made money from the war.
right.
But then I came home and I started school at Middle Georgia College.
Uh-huh.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't have what most people have now. I had to drive back and forth to Cochrane.
Right.
So I graduated from Middle Georgia College, moved to Milledgeville to Georgia State College, and that's where I met my lovely wife.
She's so lovely.
We are really and truly college sweethearts.
Let's talk about her. Now, I know she is or was working for Georgia Power.
She has about 2 weeks left, and then she will be retired. Now, that's something I'm trying to figure out how to work together at home with your wife. But we'll make it. We're looking forward to it, very much
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
We will
And,
survive.
and we lived in Milledgeville, and then we moved to Macon, and then we moved to Dublin in early 91.
Yes.
So I have two sisters. I have one that lives in East Dublin and one lives around Rennes.
Oh.
All my parents have passed away, and I had an older brother who passed away.
Okay.
So I am truly...
So it was 4 of you.
There was 4.
2 boys and
And-
2 girls.
Yes. And had a good childhood.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting your wife.
Yes.
Also, I had the pleasure of working together with your wife at the Woman of the Year luncheons.
Yes.
We have planned more than one luncheon together. She's a delight. She is just great.
She's a sweet girl. She has to decide what she's going to do in her retirement.
Well, now, I know you retire already,
Yes.
but let's go back a little bit. You went to college, you met her, married her, and then you came back. What was your first job? I mean, what kind of work did you do in Dublin?
Actually, I worked for Belt department stores when they were downtown on the corner. And I worked there while I was going to Middle Georgia.
Okay.
Got transferred to Milledgeville and worked at the Belk in Milledgeville. And the day I graduated from Milledgeville, Georgia College,
Right.
I had a job in Macon
Oh.
before we built the Macon Mall.
Uh-huh.
And I was in downtown Macon. And we won't talk about that. That's a different experience. But then we moved to and opened the Macon Mall. And that was an experience. The Macon Mall was new. Belt was one of the
And
first
you were there when they opened?
before they opened it.
Before? And
We used to go to Chick-fil-A in the Macon Mall when nothing else was open because it was the only place to eat.
Oh, wow.
So, and got a promotion in 81. Went to Vidalia for 1 year. And then in 91, I got a promotion to Dublin. And I stayed with them until the late 90s.
Uh-huh. So that was like, I mean, you worked with them for a long time.
21 years. 21 years. Started on sales, went to shipping receiving manager, and went through the ranks buying, traveling with Belt, and moved up to merchandise manager, assistant manager here in Vidalia and then to Dublin.
And then to Dublin. Well, isn't that nice to go back and live where you were born?
There was no question when I got the call. There was no question. We didn't even discuss salary. It was yes off the top of the list.
Yes.
I was ready to come back to Dublin.
Let me tell you, I'm not from Dublin, but this is the place that I have lived longer than any place in the world. And I love Dublin. I mean,
It's a good town, and actually the reason I left Belk was to go into business with Franz Bruckmeyer with Middle Georgia Business Products.
you see, I remember that.
And
When
we-
I
and-
met you, you were working in the Middle Georgia.
We were down near the Home Depot, to the right of Home Depot.
Right.
And then we made a decision in the mid-90s, and we bought land on Hillcrest. We were one of the first people there.
Yes.
And we bought land on Hillcrest and built the new building over there. And I stayed with Franz until about 2003, and then I went into the real estate business.
Uh-huh. That I remember too.
And so I retired in 2011. And I have enjoyed every moment since.
Well, that word retirement sounds so good.
It is. It gives you don't quit working.
That's right.
You just move to a different job.
I heard a lot of people, usually they say, you know, I retired, but I'm busier than before. Now, doing different things.
Yes.
So it's a change. I mean, it's...
I actually keep a things to do list. And there's many things on it. For instance, one of the things that I've been blessed to do is I've been working a lot with senior adults, especially I would call it caregiving.
Yes.
And one lady, tomorrow afternoon, I will take her to her sister's funeral. She's in assisted living,
Right.
and her husband has passed away, and I've had the opportunity to take her 4 funerals. And that is a blessing to be able to do something
I was
like
going
that.
to say that is a blessing, being able to assist and help
Right.
And you know, usually for me, elderly and children touch my heart somehow.
Right.
Somehow. But listen, we're gonna take a short break. Stay with me. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
When my husband experienced chest pain, I knew he had to go to the ER at Fairview Park Hospital because it had an accredited chest pain center. Chest pain isn't like a broken arm or a high fever. They treat chest pain like the serious condition it is, and they treat it fast. And it was a good thing we knew the difference because my husband was in cardiac arrest.
Oh, I was fine.
Now he is.
Treat chest pain like chest pain. Choose the ER at Fairview Park Hospital.
Thank you for staying with us. I'm sitting here with Mr. Jerry Hall, and he's full of surprises. All right, you retired,
Yes.
and what kind of things you have been doing besides, you know, helping the elderly? What other things have you been doing?
Well, I went to the doctor one day, and he told me I was going to be a diabetic. And I said, no, sir, I'm not going to be a diabetic. What are my options? So, in the meantime, I have lost 24 pounds.
I see that.
I exercise almost every morning, 3 to 4 times, 5 times a week, either riding a bicycle or walking.
Okay.
And that has got my blood sugar in fine, good shape. So I enjoy doing that.
Jerry, that's amazing. Those out there, it can be done.
It can be done.
He did it.
And so I take no medicine. I took medicine for 6 months. I no longer take medicines for diabetes.
Amen.
One of the things, though, that helps me control that is since Rosemary is still working,
Yes.
I cook the evening meal every day.
Oh.
And I cook a healthy meal.
Ah.
Not a lot of fried foods,
You should invite me to your home every evening.
mostly bacon.
That's wonderful, Jerry.
Do a lot of fish.
But you see, that's another thing I did not know about you.
I
that
love
you know how to cook.
I love to cook, and I've actually had suppers ready now. When she gets home, supper is already on the stove and cooked and ready for her.
We need to. Jose, you know, he needs to
Right.
retire, so when I get home, dinner will be ready.
But I have enjoyed working with the senior adults a lot.
Yes.
We've been very active in a church, Grace Baptist Church.
Okay.
We formed, and we bought land, and we built a new building. And I go out once in a while and work in the yards and keep the limbs clean and cut bushes and things like that.
Busy.
Every Monday, the church collects, on Sunday, collect food for the Lawrence Baptist Association.
Oh,
And every Monday, I go get that food and I take it to the Lawrence Baptist Association.
wow.
We hope to do some traveling
Yes.
as soon as Rosemary retires, and we've done some. We have fallen in love with Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, yes.
You're going to do a program on that one day.
It's beautiful.
So we love Charleston, and we do some camping, state parks, and things like that.
Wow.
So there's always something to do.
Uh-huh. And I also know there is also something to do in Warner Robins. Just talk about Warner Robins.
Well, Pilar, I've always loved real estate
Yes.
and different forms of real estate.
Right.
And we have a little place in the mountains, a little cabin in the mountains, so experienced some rental property there. Also, back in 2000, I had always talked with Ken Flanders out at the Olive Branch and said I'd like to own part of a Christian bookstore.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we wanted to go to Milledgeville, but the Lord leads in different ways. So in 2000, we went to Warner Robins because some salesmen had told us there was good business opportunities there, big church. So, believe it or not, there was nowhere to open a good Christian bookstore. Mm-hmm. That's hard to believe when everything is empty now, then the things were not empty. So we finally bought land and we built a shopping center, very similar to the one here in Dublin where Sir Shop and Olive Branch is. Very similar to that.
Yes.
And we opened a Christian bookstore, and we ran that for many years, and then we finally sold it to Lifeway.
Uh-huh.
Lifeway is a Baptist organization,
Right.
and they carry books and Bibles and gifts and But we've got about 8 other vacancy buildings
Yes.
in the same shopping center, and so I work quite a bit with that.
Oh,
I'm over
nice.
probably once or twice a month.
Now, it's in Warner Robins. Where exactly in Warner Robins is this place?
Well, if you're familiar, and most people are, Watson Boulevard is the
Yes.
one that's right in front of the base.
Right.
Well, it runs to the interstate. When you get out a certain distance, there's a little town called Centerville,
Yes.
and there is a Target,
Yes.
and there's a mall.
Uh-huh.
And we're to the left side of that mall, Sears.
Okay.
Little,
I know the area.
yes, and it's a nice place to be, a nice place to do business. But I enjoy going over there and meeting different people. Had the opportunity to go to a couple of civic clubs with Bob Walker,
Uh-huh.
and Bob Walker has done very good business
Yes.
in Warner Robins
Yes.
with his many warehouses.
Right.
And but you go to a service club, and you walk in, and it's hey Bob, hey Bob, hey Bob, hey Bob. Everybody knows Bob Walker.
Everybody knows him.
And Bob worked with us some beginning and helped us get set up and get to know people over there.
Yes, that is just wonderful.
But Warner Robins is a good town. It's a good town to do business, not as good as Dublin.
There you go. Now, knowing that,
Right.
and having experienced different kind of business, why do you think it's a good idea to belong to the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, a lot of my experience has been in the small business area,
Yes.
but also remember the 21 years we said with Bell.
Right.
But I was with Middle Georgia Business Products, and I owned a couple of smaller companies of my own, pressure washing business, things like that. And the chamber is a good way to get to know people.
Yes.
It's a good way to see what's going on in the community. The cheapest advertising you can do is to go to a business after hours
There you go.
where there's 200 to 300 people.
Yes.
That is the cheapest advertising you do. All you have to do is say, hi, my name's Pilar.
Yeah, and bring your business card.
Leave the business cards. When they call the door prizes, you get to meet people that you didn't know before.
Yes.
And that is one big reason right there.
Yes.
But the another reason is the chamber does so much indirectly that we don't see.
Oh, yeah.
But they work with the medical community to bring new medical doctors to town.
Yes.
This is in town new businesses.
Absolutely.
They help the small business. They work with the Shop at Home program. Very good program. Very good program.
Yes.
And for those who don't take part, I encourage you to call the chamber. Get involved. The cost is very minimum.
And shop locally.
They're going to advertise your business when they advertise, where to
Right.
redeem your gifts.
Yes.
And it's an easy way for the TV station to give out Christmas gifts is just go to the
For
chamber.
instance,
Just
yes,
go to
for
the chamber and buy some gift certificates and give them out. Real simple. But it does, like you said, support local business.
Yes.
And that is so important, is that we support local businesses where we can.
We always support local.
And we do have some good independent businessmen in Dublin.
Yes.
And they're willing to help you if you'll go talk with them. So I like the idea that the chamber works with a small business. Chamber also supports our children through the high schools and the special youth of a quarter,
Right.
youth of a year. And then you would be surprised at the end of the year when they have a reception for all the graduating seniors. That is something else to see.
Yes.
And keep in mind, Pilar, you and I have been to the chamber many times.
Many, many, many.
These people have never been to the chamber. These people don't know what the chamber does.
Exactly.
So the chamber is just working with small business. They work with the schools, educate with seminars, with programs. And what most people may not realize too is our local chamber is a member of the Georgia Chamber of Commerce. And when I was
And not all the chambers.
right, are no.
Not all.
And
but ours is.
when I was working with Middle Georgia Business Products, one of our beloved citizens, Mr. Louis Livingston,
Yes.
came to me one day and said, Jerry, I want y'all to be a part of the Georgia Chamber. Well, to be honest, business wasn't so great when you're first getting started and you have a lot of expenses.
Right.
Well, he said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. I said, no, sir, we'll join. So we joined the Georgia Chamber of Commerce. and attended some of the seminars and gatherings in Atlanta, and you got to meet other people. And so the chamber is just it's a shot in the arm, a boost in the arm, if I can use those words, for businesses in town.
Absolutely.
You get, not only do you get to work with them, but like I said, you get to meet other business people. And you may not tell them how much business you're doing, but you get to talk about hiring employees, insurance policies, how you buy insurance, how you handle your expenses. There's so much that you can do, and it costs so little.
Absolutely. And it's so much back to you when you do that.
Right.
Now, I do know that you were chairperson
Yes.
in 2003, 2004.
Yes.
Now, when that year, what kind of things for you that you remember that really stood up?
Well, one of the great things we had was Botkin Lumber Company bought the old Bassett Furniture Building, which had been vacant for many years, and put approximately 100 people to work. And we needed that at that time because a lot of your industries, textiles, had moved away.
Right.
So we needed something to put people together and put people working. We had that. We had the continued tourism. People don't realize the advantage of having I-16. It is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
And not many towns other than Atlanta and Macon have 4 exits off that interstate.
Absolutely.
Plus, 441 being widening from here to Athens just brings more people down that way.
Yeah.
So we are a blessed community, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Lord has blessed our community.
Yes, sir.
He really, really
Yes, sir.
has. And we certainly need to be thankful for the business we have.
Yes.
Sometimes it's slow, but overall, our community is blessed.
It's been blessed.
It sure has.
We're going to take another short break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
All right, thank you for coming. I'll be back shortly.
Dad, I'm losing my house. What should I do?
Son, your mother and I were there, and Lumen Earl filed a Chapter 13 for us. He even set up a payment plan we could afford. He saved our home, and he kept my check from garnishment. Give Lumen a call. I'm sure he could help you too.
Lumen Earl, solving people's financial problems for over 30 years. Call today for free consultation.
Thank you for staying with us, and I'm really enjoying my talk with Mr. Jerry Hall.
Thank you, Pilar.
Jerry, the Chamber of Commerce,
Yes.
of course, through the years have changed. And since you were a little boy here in Dublin, what kind of changes have you seen in our chamber and also in our community?
Well, the community and the chamber working together has changed where we're not just concerned about local businesses. Certainly, I can't think of a town that has, of our size, that has the number of international companies that we have.
That's right.
And that is a blessing again,
That's right.
to have these foreign people, because usually when one comes, another one will come, and another one will come.
Yes.
Plus, we learn from their culture, and they learn from ours. But I think we're thinking now more regional. I know we're working with the Trutley County Chamber of Commerce. Also, we've got this big development project out, the mega site, which could land most anything. And I know I believe the Development Authority has recently purchased land around 257, I believe, has rail. So we're looking not only at can you drive a car to get there on a paved road, but can you get there on a 4-lane road, and do you have access to air? Do you have access to sea? Yes. And do you have rail? Those things are important. And I think our Development Authority, along with the Chamber, is looking at those things. And you know, years ago, we had the Chamber of Commerce was one unity. Now we've divided and got people.
They're working together.
They're still working together, but some are focusing on members,
Right.
and some are focusing on new industries in town. And I think that's going to be good, and I know it's going to pay off. They're headed in the right direction.
Yes.
They can't tell us everything, but we know they're working. We know they've done a super job. And again, to live in a community like this, it's great for a large industry or it's great for a small industry.
Absolutely.
And the small people want to see the industry come
Yes.
because it's more people working and more people shopping at home, as we discussed earlier.
Yes.
So I think that we're moving more towards regional. We're thinking regional, and we're thinking what we can do with other communities. And I believe with the economic situation in the world, I believe we're going to be forced to do that
Yes. I
more,
think so
more
too.
and more.
Yeah, I think so too. What would you say to an individual, small business, or large business that are not members of the Chamber of Commerce?
I believe it's important for as many people as possible to be involved in the chamber. Number one, you get to know what's going on.
Yes.
You get an opportunity to get involved, and you support your community. Our chamber is very open for anyone to join. You don't have to be the president of Southeast Paper, or you don't have to be the largest doctor or the CEO at Fairview Park Hospital. If you want to join the chamber,
Right.
we're glad to have you join. And by doing that, you meet all these other people. And a chamber is, there's so many questions. If the chamber wasn't here, who would do these things? And they work a lot behind the scenes that we don't see. But the chamber doors are always open. Go by, talk with them, get information, ask
Hear
them,
that?
ask them any questions that you want to ask them.
Yes.
But Pilar, I cannot stop this conversation without talking about Miss Willie.
There you go.
And I think she would allow me to call her Miss Willie out of respect. But Miss Willie Falk has been a blessing to this community.
It has been.
And she works tirelessly at night, weekends when people don't know. And people, I can tell you, I have been to meetings in Atlanta, and people know Miss Willie.
Yes.
And
Everywhere.
she has been a blessing for us. She didn't know I was going to say this, but she has been a blessing, and I think other people will echo it too.
Yes,
But-
I agree with you 100%.
But we have a good community. Like I said, I worked in Millersville, I worked in Vidalia, I worked in Warner Robins, Macon.
Yes.
I don't want to work somewhere else. I want to work and live in Dublin.
Yes, sir.
And it's a good community, and if we all pull together,
Yes.
the more we work together, the better community it will be.
Yes. Amen for that. Yes. Jerry, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Actually, every time I talk to you is a pleasure, but today, you were full of surprises for me.
Well, we've got a good country.
Yes.
We've got a good community.
Yes.
We just all need to work together.
Yes.
But one more thing, Pilar. People like you from foreign countries or other states moving in,
Yes.
taking part, has also been a blessing. And we thank you and your family
Thank you so
for
much.
what y'all have done and how y'all have been involved in our community. And many other families have moved from foreign countries, and they get involved. And we learn from each other. It's one world.
Yes.
It's one world.
Thank you so much, and I promise you, I did not know he was going to say that. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
I hope so.
And for all of you out there, thank you so much, and until next time.